terrorize the neighborhood. Something, something, something. Now it's stuck in my head. Hey, everyone. Okay, what is up, everybody? It's me, Troi, again with another video. Of course, you know, because you clicked on this video. Okay. But yeah, I'm back again with another video. First, I want to go ahead and say thanks to everybody who recently commented, liked, and subscribed. You know, I always try to put that out there. I very much appreciate you guys for joining me on this this journey into Oz. But there was something else on my mind. Oh yeah, I subscribe back to a lot of people who have subscribed. So if you had a channel and you subscribed, I went through my list and the emails and subscribed back. Hopefully, you guys see me on your subscription list. Okay, sound like something from Walgreens. But anyway, girl, moving right along, I want to talk about my experience reading the first 100 pages of Eric Charles May's Bedrock Fate. A little background information. As you guys know, we are reading this for hashtag Read So Lit for the month of February. So we're reading 100 pages per week for this month, and then we're going onto Twitter to participate in photo challenge and discussions on our hashtag Read So Lit, as well as going to the Goodreads group that I'll put a link down below, where we're going to discuss the actual book as we go about each 100 pages until we get to its completion. So the first thing I want to give you guys is just like a little summary. If you're not familiar with the book Bedrock Fate, it takes place in the year 1993 in Chicago, and specifically in a small neighborhood called Parkland. There's a guy named Gerald Stewpot, as you know, with nicknames Reeves. Now Stewpot Reeves, he has been incarcerated for the past, I believe it was about 12 to 14 years. But anyway, girl, he's been in jail, okay? He's just been in jail. But at this point in the opening of the novel, he is returning home to Parkland, and upon his arrival, of course, there's a woman named Miss Motley who happens to be his neighbor. Now Miss Motley is, girl, she is lounging out. I would say she had a cigarette, but she really don't have a cigarette. You know, she not no cigarette, basically. But she's just lounging out on the couch on her sofa, and here she go looking out the window watching Stewpot step out of the cab to greet his mother at their doorstep. So the first thing that Miss Molly decides to do, of course, is get on that damn telephone and call any and everybody that she can to make the announcement that Stewpot Reeves has officially returned to Parkland. And that is what the whole setup of this book is about. So with that being said, I'm going to move right forward. So the first character that I really want to speak on is Miss Motley. As I stated, Miss Motley is the neighbor living next door to Stewpot Reeves. She is the lady who is just happened to be lounging on her sofa like Mariah Carey, probably not in no lingerie, yeah, lingerie. But she's the one lounging on her sofa watching the taxi or the cab pull up to, you know, the house over, and then she's the one who's watching Stewpot, you know, exits the vehicle and then starts to walk up the walkway towards his mother's house, you know, greeted by his mother. Miss Motley is also the one who initially picked up the telephone to started spreading the gossip about Stewpot's return, and that kind of brought me to this question of whether or not she was a character that, you know, the readers were supposed to have sympathy for us, to sympathize with. And the reason I say that is because Miss Motley herself is a part of, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and paint this, but you know, when it comes to like the black community and many communities in general, I'm just gonna focus on that specific aspect because of the fact that this is a book, you know, with, you know, black characters and talking about the black community. But when it comes to the black community, specifically religious groups, whether you know, whatever you identify, there's always this sort of tribe mentality. You know, here we're a tribe, we share the same beliefs, we share the same morals and values, and either you're in or you're out. So obviously Stewpot is out. So Miss Motley, the thing that got me with her is that, you know, she already recognized that she was a part of this tribe. She knew what her neighbors and her church members and the mother of the church and the preacher and the pastor and all these people in religious groups or whatnot would say about her opening up her doors to someone who is considered an outsider. You know, had that been found out, then she knew she was going to receive a lot of hell. And unfortunately for her, she made that judgment of opening her doors to Stewpot Reeves. And I say that given her ministry of sort of like forgiveness, but nonetheless, she is not a character that I really sympathize with, because she was the one who picked up the phone in the first place to start spreading the gossip on Stewpot's return. So it's like, you know, she did that, she opened up her doors to him, and then once the news got out that she was the one who was allowing him to come into her home, then she started receiving a lot of backlash from all of her Parkland neighbors and church members and that sort of thing. So Miss Molly, I got my eye out on you. I got a feeling that, you know, a lot of her storyline would kind of turn around. But I was like, Miss Molly, girl, you right in there too. I don't know why you sitting up here trying to walk around in the grocery store and everything like you are nervous about what somebody gonna say about you letting Stu Pot in your house when you know your ass was supposed to let him in there anyway. I would have just stayed at the door. I would have been at the door like this. Huh? What you want? No, I can't open the door for you. Be looking right at him, girl. No. Now, as for the character of Stu Pot, you know, the supposed, you know, terror of the neighborhood. Heathcliff, no one should terrorize the neighborhood. I had to get that out, you know what I'm saying? I had to get that out. You know, here's the thing. Like, I almost feel like Stu Pot, and I wrote this in the Goodreads post, I almost feel like Stu Pot is sort of an exaggeration so far. He's much more of a, I won't say a caricature, but he's just, you know, here's the thing, like, given some of the summary or the cursory notes that were, you know, that the characters were discussing regarding his history, you know, he had a history of decapitating cats, bombing garages, and then there was some episodes about drugs, you know, to name a few. And, you know, I was kind of thinking that Stu Pot was going to come back and be like this, well, not come back, but he was sort of illustrated to be like this kind of thug. But to me, I just kind of felt like he was a nuisance, you know, who had this religious conversion, and then all of a sudden he's just much more of an agitator and much more of a menace and an agitator to the people of Parkland. So I'm hoping that as the book progresses that we get a lot of the details regarding his past to fill in some of the space to sort of leverage out what is substantial regarding what created who he is today and whatnot. And the only way I feel like that'll happen is if we get invited as the reader into Stu Pot's life or his inside of the doors of his house with his mother, and, you know, for us to get to know her as well as her relationship with him. So I'm hoping that that will come through, because, you know, it's so easy reading this book to say that Stu Pot is out of control and this, that, and the third. But me, I mean, I'm getting that, but at the same time, I'm like, come on now, like, for real, you know what I'm saying? So capping it at just those two characters, I want to kind of talk about what I feel about the book so far, you know, as it regards, you know, the 100 pages that I read. I'm still in this place, and I wrote this in the Goodreads group as well, but I just want to share with everyone who's watching this video, okay? Yeah, maybe this is just my psychology with the book, you know, but I'm still kind of gauging whether or not, you know, Stu Pot story is a story of revenge or a story of him enlightening the people of Parkland to, you know, they're equally, well, not equally, but very much in line bad behavior. I think that as I'm reading the book, in watching Stu Pot's behavior, you know, I'm kind of in this place or this mind frame where I'm thinking, you know, we the readers, we're quick to react to what it is that he's saying, what it is that he's doing, you know, how outlandish or however outlandish that it is. But another part of me is almost like, you know, maybe we're not giving him enough credit. You know, maybe there's something underlying within his behavior, within his intentions. I just haven't decided whether or not it's like actual revenge upon the people of Parkland who he terrorized, or if it's his method or his sort of vehicle to, you know, initiate some sort of enlightenment within the characters. Because as many as you know who've read the book, you know, there was a lesbian character, yay, that was in there as well. She's very much in the closet, you know, as being a member of this tribe, so I guess I better stop there. But at the end of the day, for however method that Stu Pot went through to sort of bust open the closet, I think at the end of the day, she sort of settled into her truth, even at the expense of having to just leave the entire neighborhood to go and be who it is that she was truly meant to be. So it's like, it's like, well, was that really intentional of him, despite how outrageous his method was? Or was it really just his intention also to just get her ass out of the neighborhood? Because he was over here talking some lesbian night and stuff. And I was like, lesbian night? You know, Blanche Devereaux, lesbian. No, like, lesbian night? Like, girl, we know where the term lesbian come from, but I don't think anybody living on the damn island who came off in recent years still go around calling people lesbian nights. So, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I really am enjoying Bedrock Fake by Eric Charles May. It seemed like in my last video, where I was just kind of reading the summary and talking about the cover, I clocked a lot of things that I felt like was going to take place within the book, and I was actually very much right. You know, some people was kind of salty about that video, I noticed. So all the information that you need on this book, and as well as the group and the read along, is going to be down below. Enjoy yourself, have a great time, and if you have any comments or anything, if you're reading this book, then please leave them down below and we will continue our discussion there. Yeah. Peace.